Hey Sherry, thank you so much for hopping on with me today and just sharing some of your experience with us. Um, just first of all, can you just tell us a little bit about you and your salon and kind of your experience up to this point?
Yeah, thanks for chatting with me. My name is Sherry Nelson, and I own a salon in Sherwood Park, Alberta. And up to this point, in fact, I opened a salon right as COVID was hitting. So we pretty much kept our heads above water and made it work. And we got to this point, and now I've gotten to a point where we've grown. I have stylists, and I need to make them busier and I need to grow, but I don't want to throw my money into something I don't know. And I don't know paid advertising. So I was introduced to Jamie, and here we are.
Oh, amazing. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions about your experience so far with us. My first question is, was there any fears that you had before working with a marketing agency and specifically running paid advertising?
Yeah, actually, there was a lot. You see them on Facebook and Instagram all the time, and on all of your things, it's like boost your ad and all of these things. And have I tried them? Absolutely. Have they paid off? Absolutely not. I have never even gained a single client from ever using those. So then I'm pretty much just throwing my money away. So that was legitimately the fear is, was the investment going to come back, or was I going to be throwing the money out there and nothing was ever going to come back?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very common fear. So you're not alone in that at all. Um, what would you say, in your experience, were we able to alleviate those fears, within your first few weeks working with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Even before working with you, actually, just the initial conversation we had that you just did your presentation of how things have worked in the past with previous customers and clients, whether they're in my industry or not, you're able to show me how you were able to make it work. So even before starting, you were able to alleviate that by showing me that what you guys have done and the research you have done just like works.
Mhm.
So before we even started, it was super easy. And then literally the first day we went live, bookings were coming in. So that automatically alleviates
Mhm.
any stress I had about the money just being thrown away.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. That instant gratification is so nice.
Yeah, it sure is.
Have you, in your experience, were you skeptical when you hear the word marketing agency and paid ads? Was that kind of like something that you just always thought, I would not do that, I don't need it? What would you say your level of skepticism was in terms of like marketing agencies?
I probably had a few hesitations. When I was building my clientele, I've been in the industry for a hot minute. Um, Paid advertising wasn't a thing. There was no social media. No one had cell phones. There was none of that. There was like newspapers, ads, and that was as good as it got. So I am not familiar with it whatsoever. And I was then worried it was going to seem like a skeezy sales pitch. It can seem very like, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. And I didn't want that either because that's not the vibe we have.
Mhm.
So, of course, there's some skepticism from me not knowing and being cautious, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, what would you say would be your feeling on like the quality of new clients you're seeing? Are you seeing like tire kicker Tammys, no show Nancy's, or are you seeing like mostly, quality people who are going to reschedule and come back and see you and actually build a client base for you?
Primarily, for the most part, we have had people who are already return clients. We had one lady who was in on May 1st when our advertising started, and she's been back 3 times already. So we've seen her 4 times since her appointment on May 1st. So on average, everyone has rebooked for something. So whether they've scheduled in for another blowout, whether they are now switching over to a haircut or a color, almost all of them have. I feel like there's one who has not, but aside from that, everyone has booked ahead for higher services. So it's
Amazing.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big fear for some people when they're running paid ads is that the quality of client is not going to be great, and you're basically just going to be chasing those new people all the time. So that's really great to hear that your clients, the clients you're getting, are quality people that are going to reschedule and move through other services within your salon. So I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, is there anything that really stood out to you in your first, say, month with us?
The communication. Oh my God, the communication. So I'm a big communication person. I feel like a little goes a long way. Like if you're busy, just be like, I'm busy. I'll check onto this. No problem. The TGMI team has been amazing. So we have our own little chat and they're back and forth all the time. So the communication has been top notch. So if I have a question or a concern or something that looks off, someone gets back to me very quickly. And it is never made to feel like it's, oh, we're too busy for you. We have too much going on, or like no communication. So the communication has been top notch.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. Our team is really great, and we absolutely love them. And it's been, yeah. So I'm really glad to hear that. So thank you for sharing that. And my last question for you today is, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence about working with us and potentially running a paid ad strategy?
Long story short, do it. It's one of those things, it's sometimes hard to look at an investment and know what the future holds for it. But if you don't invest in yourself or your salon or your business, you can't expect it to be returned. So do it. It's worth it. It has absolutely been a game changer for us. And looking at our leads that we have coming in, we are more than going to make that up in a month of what we will be spending.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us today, Sherry. And I'm just cheersing to your growth and everything that's ahead for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamie.